as a rookie mortician. A few days ago, Ellie took part in a full-time assessment at a funeral home. Under the watchful eyes of her boss John, she quickly completed the embalming of a corpse. Her movements were extremely skilled. John was very satisfied and decided to hire her on the spot. After passing the assessment, Ellie was overjoyed. However, she did not notice that when she turned around to put away her tools, the corpse's toes slightly twitched. John saw this strange scene, but he said nothing. At this moment, Ellie was still immersed in the joy of passing, completely unaware of John's serious expression. At this moment, she only had one thought: to keep this hard-earned job. But just before Ellie officially started, John set several strange rules for her. Ellie was not allowed to enter the basement. All night shifts had to be handled by John personally. Although confused, Ellie did not ask further. However, 1 week after she started, John suddenly called her. He said several bodies had been transferred overnight from the city morgue. He had an urgent matter and could not return, and could only ask Ellie to handle it. Ellie felt puzzled. Wasn't she forbidden from working at night? But since John was the boss, she had no choice but to agree. But she did not know this would be the longest night of her life. Soon Ellie arrived at the funeral home. She picked up the work order left by John, and found it required embalming before cremation. Ellie was confused. If she followed his instructions, wouldn't that be pointless work? But she had no choice but to follow it. She rolled out the first body, and performed basic preparation. But just as she was about to apply the fluid, a sudden flash of lightning struck outside, as if warning that danger was coming. Ellie did not pay attention, and continued her work. After finishing, she sat down to write a report, but she did not notice. The corpse had quietly turned its head, and opened its eyes. When she looked up again, the body had returned to normal. Ellie sent the body into the cremator. Then she brought out the second body. Just as she was about to begin, the funeral home suddenly lost power. Ellie rushed back to the office to find light, and found a talisman in a drawer. She lit it and used it as a torch, but when she returned, she saw the corpse's hand had slipped out. Ellie calmly pushed it back, but did not notice the eerie smile beneath. After finishing the second body, she brought out the third, but as she started, a rapid knocking echoed in the hall. She ran to check, but found no one there. When she returned, the body was gone. Ellie became afraid. At that moment, the phone rang. She gathered courage and answered.
Mr. Delver. Hello? I can't hear.
You did this to me.
Who is this?
It's all your fault.
She quickly hung up. She did not understand what was happening. As she stood frozen, the phone rang again. She covered her mouth and dared not answer, but suddenly saw her hands covered in blood. She stared in horror, but the blood vanished instantly. The phone kept ringing. She answered again, but heard her deceased father's voice.
Report a missing person, a child, my daughter. Her name is Rebecca Owens. She's 14. You have to help me.
Dad?
She has a drug problem. She went out on the lake with some friends. She never came back. No, I'm not gonna wait 24 hours. My daughter is in trouble, god damn it. Fine. I'll look for her myself.
Ellie completely broke down. When she opened her eyes again, she was back home. She had no memory of returning. As she was confused, rapid knocking came from outside. She opened the door, and saw her friend Lucy. Thinking of last night, Ellie broke down emotionally. She hugged Lucy tightly, but her eyes turned white. Her grip tightened. Lucy struggled, but could not break free. Ellie became like a beast, and attacked her. When she regained consciousness, Lucy was dead. She could not remember anything. But she realized, it all started at the funeral home. She called John immediately, but his words terrified her. Come back immediately. Only the morgue is safe. Outside you are a threat to everyone. Hearing this, Ellie understood. John was hiding something. Before she could ask more, she sensed a strange figure behind her. She ran in fear, but when she rushed outside, she saw another Lucy. Ellie completely collapsed. She could not tell what was real. She rushed back to the funeral home. John was already waiting. From his explanation, the truth was revealed. A demon had long been sealed there. It first possessed corpses, using them as vessels. Its goal was a living body. It digs into your deepest pain, and destroys your mind. When you break, it takes over. Ellie was the chosen one. Embalming before cremation was a ritual, but burning alone was not enough. To truly destroy it, you must know its true name. John took out a strange disc device, but Ellie suddenly collapsed. When she opened her eyes again, her pupils had turned completely white.
Rebecca.
You pathetic old fuck. Do I have something that you want?
I think you need to reconsider.
This one's a little more useful to you than the others. Not chained in a tiny little box or being burned alive in agony. Another sacrifices of your fucking skin. It's your turn to burn.
Ellie ultimately became the demon's new vessel,